River management in India is quite fragmented and top-down, which lacks whole ecosystem understanding and a holistic approach. Most of the departments working on water systems have their own inherent problems, and they also have a fixed mandate. Emerging problems are not discussed in the entire organizational food chain. Most of the problems are difficult to handle, and sometimes problems are invisible, and sometimes problems are ignored purposely. Some issues and agents are too sensitive to discuss. The academicians, civil societies and NGOs, they have very limited space for decision making. You know, when we talk about big rivers and their problems, the entire debate about small rivers and tributaries, they are forgotten. They are not on anybody's radar. The river basin planning should integrate the long-term future as well as the present needs of the river ecosystems. And also the riparian communities, they depend upon the entire river systems. The plans should take care of not only the social objectives, but also maintain the overall ecological, environmental and hydrological integrity of the river basin. In maintaining the sustainable flows, the quantity of flows, the timing of flows and the quality of water are very much critical to the overall well-being of the mankind and ecosystems. We must have thorough knowledge of what we are trying to communicate, so we have to also develop adequate knowledge base. The language should be easily understood by all. Right now we are only engaging ourselves in preparing, compliance reports. So we have to also develop platform for constructive engagements of the entire riparian communities. There is a serious problem of water education in India. There is a lack of understanding of requirements of riparian communities as well as the entire river ecosystems. There is a lack of transparency in project design and also in project implementation. We have to develop correct principles of river systems integrity and also the benefit sharing mechanisms by localizing the entire context. Sometimes I think that benefit sharing is just a proposal. What about sharing of the miseries and despair in the event of extreme events like droughts and floods? So the problem is that we consider river as a resource, not river as natural endowment which can provide, all the ecosystem services free of cost. We have to develop deeper sociology of the society. Policy is not just made by the government. There are markets and civil societies. There are also policy makers. So we have three actors: the state, the market and the civil society. Civil societies are the most active pressure groups currently for policy making. Unless heat is felt, policy pressure is not generated. Economics and environment, they offer a lot of opportunities of learning from each other, and they should not be considered as against the mandate of sustainable development. We should all have to develop alternative system of dialogue and cooperation using local language and science. We have to design interventions that have deep resonance with local communities. Right now, we are trying to shift industries from close to the river, and we have given them some land for relocation. As for several industries located close to the river, the alternative site should offer better prospects. The other side view can also have some merit. We should not consider to just talk in a monodialogue in kind of just unidirectional pathways. For small rivers and tributaries, we should also designate and develop community conservation areas with a more decentralized control and ownership by the rivers, of the community, for the community, and by the community. Locals have better capacity to coin the language of the problems. Planning system should offer adequate and appropriate space for engagements through constructive dialogues. We have to address problems at a very local level, and we need to build further collaborative programs for addressing large-scale conflicts and demands of multiple actors. Right now, the knowledge production in universities and labs, they may not bring action because they are driven by curiosity. The government bureaucracy is too busy to learn new things, so we have to turn knowledge into actionable items in quick time frame.